YouTubers, Max18363 here, and this is part 22 of my narrated F.E.A.R extraction point playthrough. And just a quick kind of heads up, this video is a little longer than the normal ones, but it's just a one-off because what I've basically done is I have combined the last two levels into one. So this is in actual fact the final part of my narrated F.E.A.R extraction point playthrough, so this will be the final part. So yeah, it's like the final two levels combined into one, because the last level, like the epilogue bit, I think I did it in like 5 minutes or something, so it seemed a bit silly to just upload that as a separate video, so I thought I could just combine it as a one-off. So it will be a bit longer today, but it might be a nice way to kind of finish off the extraction point series of videos. So yeah, that's kind of the grand finale, really. And this little level here, Dark Heart it's called, is a little more atmosphere kind of centric. Combat does take a bit of a backstep in this one. There's still some shooting involved, but yeah, the combat kind of takes a wee step backwards. It's a bit more focused on atmosphere and I suppose some kind of mild attempt at scares as well. Basically, yeah, the point man just totally trips out and we kind of venture into Alma's very creepy world, and she really screws with us, to put it politely. One little sort of tactical note, if you like, if by chance you have entered this level with low ammunition, then you might struggle a teensy bit, because there isn't really any ammo pickups in this level until pretty much near the end. There's that shotgun and a few grenades and stuff there, but then that is pretty much it for the rest of the level until you're near enough done. Because I mean, there is still some combat against some of Alma's kind of nightmarish minions. So if you do happen to be low on ammo, then you might struggle a bit, but hopefully by this stage in the game you should have plenty of supplies available. Some kind of automatic weapon, the assault rifle or even a submachine gun should probably do the job just fine. And there's young Alma there. I mean, if you actually have the patience to hang back and just watch, you can watch her pretty much walk all the way along that corridor and then she eventually just sort of fades away, but just to try and pick up the pace a bit, I just pressed on this occasion. There's of course one little thing at the end of this level which doesn't really make an awful lot of sense, and I'm just going to tell you now what happens. I don't think it's really a spoiler as such, because it's not really explained. And yeah, that was a pretty bad grenade throw, I know. But basically it appears at the end that young Alma and old Alma seem to merge. That's kind of the only way I can explain it. It's what seems to happen, but how does it happen? Why is that happening? What does that mean for the universe of F.E.A.R, or the city that it takes place in? I have no idea, because as usual it just doesn't really explain what that fake is going on. But apart from that, this is a quite decent level, so I can't be too picky. You'll probably notice as well, I would like to point out as well, that as we're going through this level, we're kind of going through like the morgue and kind of locker rooms and bits and pieces, you'll probably notice that there's blood all over the place. I want you to take a note of that. Just bear that in mind. Blood all over the place. And I'll kind of pick up that point towards the end, if I remember, hopefully. inside Alma's head, or something like that. I'm also going to take a rough stab that this is possibly the hospital when Alma was a child. Obviously there's like an adult Alma going around now, but there's also like child Alma as well, so this could possibly be the hospital in its slightly older days. I'm basing this on its slightly dated look. I'm also basing this on the fact that we do go through what appears to be some sort of mental ward or some sort of asylum or something like that. You'll see that a bit later on, that's quite creepy. So I wonder if this is like the hospital as young Alma remembers it. Excuse me. And the first little time when I went through that little section where you're just kind of falling down through those little kind of pits, or whatever you want to call it, I actually thought I'd done something wrong. I thought I'd like fallen off a ledge or something like that, because you just fall and fall and fall for what seems like an eternity. But no, that's meant to happen. It can't be avoided, you are supposed to go through that. Funny because like the original F.E.A.R was kind of ended with a sequence sort of along these lines as well, going through a corridor with Alma's minions kind of coming at you from time to time. So this is like, I suppose you could say, sort of the mental asylum part, because all the people in the cells, I believe, are characters from the F.E.A.R games. I can't quite identify them all for you, but I believe one of them was actually Harlan Wade, who was like Alma's father. I'm not really too sure who he was. Here's another one of the scientists that probably worked on the project. That, interestingly, I believe that is actually Alice Wade. You might remember her from the original F.E.A.R. She accompanied us for a brief level or two. We had to rescue her and then she got captured and eventually killed. But I'm pretty sure that's Alice Wade. So I guess you could see that these are like Alma's victims, if you were. Don't panic, that's also... Well, you probably could avoid that room if you wanted to, but the first time I went in that room, oh my god, I panicked so much. When I realised the walls and the ceiling were closing in on me and the door was locked, oh, I panicked so much. I must have fired off like 100 rounds into that door trying to get out. Yeah, I easily blasted off like 100 rounds into the door, and I was just panicking so much. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna get killed. But no, you're okay in the end. I guess it's just meant to startle this shit out of you. And yeah, it certainly succeeded. I found that quite... Well, that really got on my nerves when I realised the walls were closing in on me like that. So that was quite a cool little trick actually, so thumbs up there. And this is the little sequence that I'm talking about where the two Almas seem to merge. Young Alma and, of course, adult Alma. They just sort of walk towards each other. There's a kind of like a little sparkle of light between them. And you just see the two Almas walking toward each other. And now we're back in reality, if you will.
I just picked up a signal. You can hear me. Get to high ground. A chopper is standing by.
Back in the morgue, and you'll probably notice that all the blood that was around earlier has now miraculously disappeared. And so now that's kind of it really, the goal. I the elevator has kind of mysteriously come online again, and we just get on it and get to the rooftop and have a big final showdown. So I don't think there's going to be a great deal more that I can say, really. But all in all, it has been a fun experience going through Extraction Point. I hope if you've kind of watched through some of them, or all of them, or whatever, I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been good fun going through it, actually, even if I was disappointed by Extraction Point to an extent, especially the long middle section of the game. But all in all, I have enjoyed it. And it has been good fun, and the combat's still fun, and there has been some scares in it. But that's not all there is for me. There will be more projects to come from me yet. I'll probably have a couple of days off before the next one, I think, but there's definitely more to come. Little tip, I do find a scoped weapon of some sort to be very useful for the last fight. To be honest, you could probably just abandon the shotgun. I don't think you really have any need for the shotgun for the final fight. But definitely when I have some sort of scoped weapon, it does make life a hell of a lot easier, and any mines and turrets that you have, you'll want to use them all up. So yeah, just to say that. But yeah, Extraction Point has been interesting. It definitely wasn't as good as the original. Now that I've kind of completed Extraction Point, I can say that it is lesser, but then it is only an expansion pack, so can you really expect all that much? And it wasn't even made by the people that made F.E.A.R, so I don't know. It was still good, I still liked it. And so this is the final level now, the Epilogue.
Stay sharp.
It's basically just a manic shootout, basically.
You should know better by now. tried to bury their sins, but instead planted the seeds of their doom. But she would not be forgotten. We will make them remember.